All right, welcome back to the IMNerd podcast. I'm your host, Frazier. I'm here with my amazing co-host, Kenny.
Yo.
And today we're going to be talking about the new Netflix animated movie, which is Kpop Demon Hunters. It's very, very popular. Came out about a month ago, I want to say. I think it came out in June 2025.
See, you know more than me. I'm the one that brought this up to Frazier, and now he has all the stats.
I know, right?
I was like, I don't know. I think it came out a week or two ago. He's like, it came out June 15th, 20, whatever the fuck. I don't even remember what you said.
Yeah. I don't know when I think it came out in June. I know it's very new. So like it's very new. And right now on Billboard and I think on like Spotify and Apple Music and all those things, I believe the soundtrack for this movie is in the top 10 albums right now.
I believe it.
Yeah, it's taken over. It's really big. But before we get into that, I just want to quickly say, how are you doing, Kenny? How are you feeling?
I'm doing good. Yeah, I mean, I'm here. I literally just watched the movie today. I watched it at noon.
Yep.
I watched it at noon. I'd planned on watching it before, but things happened. Anyway, I watched it literally today as we're recording it at noon. So I'm as fresh as you can be on it.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, that was most of my day. There were some other little things like cleaning and cooking and whatnot and getting ready to...
Yes, Cooking with Connie. What's the name of her channel, her YouTube channel?
Connie's YouTube channel is called Connie's Not a Chef.
Connie's Not a Chef. Okay, Cooking with Connie sounds... First of all, the alliteration...
We had a couple ideas.
That one just... It rolls off the tongue. I'm just going to say it rolls off the tongue.
I suggested a bunch of alliteration names, but yeah, Connie's Not a Chef, I thought was really funny and cute because she was like, I don't want... If I don't do something right, I don't want people coming at me.
Right.
Like, listen, bitch, I told you already I'm not a chef.
Right. So they don't come in with expectations that they're about to get some gourmet meal or whatever.
Yeah, but they are going to get a gourmet meal. Anyway. But yeah, Connie's Not a Chef. It's my wife's YouTube channel. She's like cooking on it. And she's making a lot of really good food. Like, I know I'm biased, but it's really fucking good. Like, she cooks her ass off. The food's everything. I've tasted all of it. It's all just insane.
I will be the judge of that. I've yet to taste Connie's cooking, but judging by the YouTube videos, honestly, a lot of it looks really good. I mean, I've watched a couple of the videos. They're short and sweet, easy to get into, and a lot of the food looks good. So
them
I want
cheesy
to
steak fries, man. Oh my god, them cheesy steak fries.
I saw the chicken over rice, and that got, because I'm so basic when it comes to food. Like I like a lot of very basic. So when I saw it was some kind of sauce on the chicken, I forget what kind, but
yeah, it was homemade. Some shit she made.
She chopped up like chicken breast, and it was like some kind of spicy sauce, and it was like chicken over rice, which I love. Like I can eat that literally every day. So I saw that, I was like, well, I'm sold. Like that, if I felt like cooking, that would be something that I would make.
And they're pretty easy to make. Like she shows all the steps in the video, and like it's not hard.
Yeah.
Like when she makes food and she's not recording, it goes a lot faster. When she's recording making food, there's so much more setup that I don't know, people wouldn't realize, but there's so much more that goes into it that you just got to like make sure the lighting's right and make sure this is right. Stop. Is this right in the frame? It's like,
It's very good. So yeah, I'm coming fresh off the gym, and I have, like I said, guys, if you've been listening to the podcast recently, you know that I have put in more time in the gym lately because I've been adding 30 minutes to an hour of cardio after my workout. So I work out always for an hour, tracked on my Apple Watch. I do weight training, just like using the machines and stuff like the gym. I go to Planet Fitness, nothing crazy. And then after that, I get on the treadmill, and I've been doing this really fucking difficult treadmill exercise that I found called 12, 3, and 30. I think that's what it's called. It's like a famous TikTok thing. I don't even have TikTok, but like apparently it went viral on TikTok, and then it, obviously it comes on Instagram, where that's where I dwell, and then it, makes its way to YouTube and all that stuff. But some fitness girl, some nutrition girl made this 12, 3, and 30 thing. So basically you put the incline on 12, you put the speed on 3, and then you put the timer on 30 minutes. And first of all, if you've never walked on an incline in the gym, on a treadmill, it is incredibly difficult at speed, like certain speeds, and it's also incredibly difficult in general because like an incline really makes your body use a lot more muscles, a lot more energy, a lot more oxygen. And so 12 is really high. If you don't have anything to like gauge that number by, just know that like most treadmills only go up to 10 incline. Like if you were to buy a treadmill for your house, most of them go up to 10. Some of the more expensive ones go up to 15, and that is it. So 12 is very high. Like we're talking like really, really high. This shit makes you sweat so bad. And I bought a waist trainer over the Amazon Day thing. So I've been wearing this waist trainer for the last 2 days. And it's so funny because like when you take it off, literally like fucking sweat just like drops down in like an actual deluge of water. The first time I did it, I wasn't expecting it. Thank God I did it in a locker room, but I wasn't expecting that to happen. So I like pulled it off and like literally water dropped from, and I was like, what the fuck?
That's disgusting.
Yeah. And then I read on Amazon that was like, yeah, this thing, it like traps the water, like the technology in this waist trainer, you know, new technology, whatever like that. But it literally traps the water so it doesn't go anywhere until you take it off, and it just kind of like drops. So they recommend you do that, you know, over certain surfaces or in the bathroom or whatever. I didn't know. Luckily, I did it in the locker room, but it fell down. I was like, what the hell? And that just kind of caught me off guard. But I've been
luckily you were just
hard.
in the gym in general. You know how much that would suck if you were just like on your carpet.
Oh my God. Oh, because it's sweat. Like it's just sweat. It's probably going to, I have to like deodorize the thing.
I think I said this the last time you brought it up. I don't remember what video or YouTube or whatever it was, but I just want to second what you said. In terms of walking on an incline, just if you don't already believe Frazier, allow me to back it up. It is, first of all, you get a really good workout from it. Like because whenever people think of treadmills, they think of running, which like fair, but walking on a steep incline for a good period of time is extremely good for your health.
Yep.
And it is arguably better for you than running. And what I mean by that is you can set it up and optimize it where you're still getting great cardio, as good as you would get from running.
Yep.
You're still getting great workout on your legs, for your heart, etc. You're burning a ton of calories. You're still doing all of that, but the strain it puts on your knees and ankles is significantly less.
Yeah.
So if you want to be able to walk without there being like cartilage issues up into your 60s and 70s, doing cardio that doesn't involve high impact on your knees is much more suggested. So for example, high incline walking is a lot better for your knees and your just ligaments in general long term than running.
Yep, Kenny's exactly right. And there have been a lot of studies recently that have come out that said that walking on an incline, a really high one between like 9 and 12, really burns more fat than a lot of running does. So if your goal is to burn fat, specifically, they were saying that walking on a high incline at a speed of like 3, basically the 12-3-30 thing, that will burn more fat than a lot of running that people tend to do, depending on like how intense your running is. Most people are not running as intense as they would need to combat a 12-3-30 exercise of just walking. So,
also one more thing. If you're overweight, I think it's a much easier cardio workout to get into. In that, not that it's easy, because it is difficult to walk on an incline. So not that that's easy, but I think it's easier if you're heavy. And my point is, when you're heavy, and I've experienced this at points in my life, but like when you have a bit of a belly, and I actually have a little bit of belly happening right here. I'm starting to do a bit more cardio again. But when you run, the point I'm getting to is you can feel the fat. And it's like, it's more strain on your body. You can feel like your belly moving or your titties moving or your whatever. So walking, you don't have as much like recoil and jiggle throughout your body.
Yeah, and I think
when doing a walk,
I think the main thing is also like what you said in the beginning of this part. When people think of running, you think of this task that is kind of daunting. Yeah. Walking is something that everyone does. Like, not everybody runs. Like, I don't know the last time I ran. I remember seeing a meme that was like, when's the last time you ran at top speed or something? And I just started laughing at that because I was like, yo, I haven't run. Like, I don't remember the last time I ran. Like, just for any reason. Like, running is such a random thing to do as an adult. Like, you don't just run normally, but you walk every day, ideally, right?
Yeah.
You walk so like the idea of telling even a bigger person that just get on a treadmill and start walking, even if it's on an incline, it's going to be difficult. You're going to sweat. It's going to be whatever. It's easier to wrap your mind around just getting on a treadmill and walking. I do not run on a treadmill. I've never run on a treadmill because one, I have asthma. It's really like, so it's harder for me to breathe if I start running. And two, I just don't like the idea of running. I don't like what it does, like you said, to your knees and stuff like that. So if you want to just do something to lose weight or do something to get in better health, I think that walking on an incline is a great exercise, and it's kind of low hanging fruit when it comes to like how easy it is to do.
Yeah. I last year or whenever it was, the first time I went to run again after not running for a long time, and I ran on the treadmill, and I was like, okay, I was able to do this. I remembered how fast I used to be able to run and how long I used to be able to run, and me being the asshole that I am, I was like, okay, so I'm going to do that. And I did it, and I passed out. I completed the workout. I fucking ran my fucking heart out, and I was pouring sweat. But like, I'm so stubborn when it comes to stuff like that. When I know I shouldn't be, like, I know I'm not in the shape to do this, but I'm the kind of asshole where it's like, well, I'm going to do it anyway. And I did it, and it was completely unhealthy. It's one of those things where it's It's just like there's a toxic way to try to like get in shape, I guess is the point I'm getting to. And that is an example of like me like being toxic. And then from there is where I did the research and learned about like the incline walking and stuff and just how much better that is for you overall. Don't be toxic like me and run yourself into passing out.
Yeah, two things on this, and we can move on after this. One, whenever I don't work out for a long time and I go back to the gym and I try to do what I was doing last. So like if I was, everything was at my highest weights, right? Because, ideally the last time you left the gym, you probably were pushing it as hard as your body could at that time. But then if you haven't gone in a while, you obviously regress. You lost muscle, you lost strength and all that good stuff. So I whenever I don't go for a while, I don't know why I don't like take the hint to just tune things down a little bit, but I try to go back in gung-ho, and I always end up getting to a point where I feel extremely nauseous about 30 minutes into the workout. I'm talking about to the point where I literally have to stop, and I kind of start salivating to the way that I know I'm about to throw up, and I just have to relax. I hate it. It's such a bad feeling. You get like the cold sweat over your body.
Oh my God, that cold feeling.
I do not
so
like
bad.
that. It's so really, really bad. That nauseous cold sweat is the fucking worst. So that's the first thing. The second thing is yesterday when I put the waist trainer on for the first time, I was on the treadmill doing my typical treadmill exercise, and I was like, I'm trying to see if this is like noticeably harder to do or anything like that. About 10 minutes in, I got like really short of breath, and I got really fucking nervous that I was like, because you know me, I get really hypochondriac thoughts going on. So I had these crazy thoughts that I was about to go into cardiac arrest or that I was about to pass out.
Oh yeah.
And I started like feeling on my heart and checking my like watch. And I was like, oh shit, maybe I have it on too tight. Cause it was my first, I'm not a waist trainer guy. Yeah. I just saw this on Instagram, and I saw it on, it was on sale on Amazon, even though it was still kind of expensive. It was like $27. But I was like, I want to try this out. It said that it helps to burn more fat or whatever, or not necessarily burn fat. It helps you to sweat more. And I do want to sweat more because I want to lose a lot of my water weight, because that'll make me look more ripped in the summertime where I want to be like toned down. Anyway, I wasn't sure if I tied it too tight. So I started getting really scared yesterday when I was on the treadmill, and I literally pressed the pause button. I let the treadmill slide me off. Like I stopped walking and just let it slide me off. I hopped off, and I like fucking lift up my shirt, and I took the fucking waist trainer off, and then I like put it back on without tightening it really at all. And I just kind of like got back on the treadmill and started walking out. It was still like firmly on my body, on my waist, on my stomach or whatever.
You just didn't like have it like a corset.
Yeah, because at first I think I might have made it into a corset, and I don't think you're supposed to do that. You're probably not supposed to constrict your breathing and all that stuff. So I went a little, like you said, going too ham, trying to do the most, and you'd need to ease into things. But that's what happened to me. So
you know who definitely doesn't ever miss a day in the gym? These fucking K-pop stars. Okay.
Yes. Oh my God.
They don't never miss a day in the gym.
Rumi. Oh man, Rumi. But yeah, I like this movie. So I want to start off by saying that I like this movie. I thought it was really dope. I think the music is really dope. Just an overall how I feel about this movie, to get it out the way. Overall, I like it. I do want to say, so now that I've given it some praise, I think the music's great, the animation's cool, the characters are cool. One thing I am worried about, I could not help but think when I was watching this movie, this seems like a movie made using AI. I could not get the thought out of my mind. Now, maybe it's because in the last several months, basically all of 2025, we've been inundated with constant AI bullshit, like on the internet. The internet is now all AI. Everything is AI now. I'm seeing videos of people that look like they're real, and it's not the bullshit ones from last year where their fingers are all messed up. You can kind of tell. I'm seeing a lot of AI generated video content that looks very real. Yeah. And so when I was watching this K-pop thing,
there's a lot of racist ones too. It's crazy. I don't know if you've seen like the extreme upswing of AI racist videos.
I have. I've seen the ones where like black girls eating chicken, and like I haven't seen if there's something more severe than that. I don't know if I've seen.
There's a lot. There's like
actually
there's like a lot. Like there's one where it's like, and it looks pretty good. Like I can tell it's AI, but if some old white guy saw this, I don't think they'd be able to tell.
An older
there's
person
like this
for
one where it's called like Ricky the Robber, and it's just like this black kid. He looks like he's like 20 years old. And he's like, yeah, I'm Ricky the Robber. You know how I do. I'm going to go in. This white kid having a birthday party, and he don't know. And it's literally just like this black guy. He goes in and like robs people. See? And he's like, he'll go into like Best Buy, like, yeah, it's Ricky the Robber.
And it's
like,
completely AI.
And it's the whole thing's AI. The whole thing's AI. And there's a bunch of them. It's just like there's a whole bunch, and it's for whatever. Now maybe there's other ones too that I just haven't seen.
Yeah.
But it seems like they are all black videos of like black stereotypes.
Yeah, I've noticed that. A lot of it is that, which is really weird. And so again, when I'm watching this movie, which is a Korean, like these characters are Korean, right? A lot of this movie is taking place in Korea. I'm staring at a lot of the characters, and even when they get down to the boy band, which we'll talk about, of course, it just seems so stereotypical. And I was thinking, like, I feel like you can make this entire movie with AI, including not even using real voice actors. What I appreciate at the end of the movie,
end credits, the end credits are kind of fire.
The end credits are so cool because they show that like real humans are the voice actors and real humans like help to make this film. But I sent the message to Kenny. I was like, I have a take, and I think that this movie is dangerous because I genuinely think that you could make K-pop Demon Hunters with no humans involved, like just AI, and like obviously you need humans to run the AI, but I don't think you need voice actors. I don't think you need actual singers because AI has gotten that good. There are plenty of videos of fake Beyonce songs, fake Nicki Minaj raps, fake Drake songs, and they have gotten so good that they sound like the way Drake would deliver the lines. They sound the way Nicki would deliver the lines.
I want to be honest. I'm a internet freedom person. I want internet to be completely free, and I don't want there to be limitations or guidelines or blah, blah, blah. I don't want it to be China, but I do think there needs to be some legal limitations on AI. I think like it just existing and whatever on the internet, I think is fine. And I think maybe it goes against my principles to say that like you make AI as a whole illegal. So I don't want to say that, but I do want to say is I think that in terms of monetization, in terms of making money with anything using AI, I think it just needs to be made illegal. Like I think AI should be legal. I think it should become illegal to be able to like monetize it in almost.
That would be great. YouTube is actually doing that too. Did you hear?
No.
YouTube announced last week, actually. It's funny you say this, kind of segue into this little topic, little side tangent right now. YouTube announced last week that basically AI generated content is going to be demonetized. And also, so AI generated content, like just content that is completely AI. And you've probably seen a lot of this too, Kenny, where
I've seen a lot of it. I hate it.
The shorts are just a fucking ocean and like words. And it's like some motivational bullshit quote.
Yep.
And there were
I just try to scroll right past a bit.
There were people who were literally selling courses on how to monetize a YouTube channel that is completely AI driven. Yeah. It requires no human interaction whatsoever besides literally giving prompts to like ChatGPT. It was like, here's the prompt. You copy this prompt into ChatGPT. It's going to spit out 25 quotes, then ask it for another 25. So now you have 50 quotes, and then just like post those quotes on CapCut, put an ocean or a sky behind it or something peaceful. And then just like set that up as a short, and the entire channel is just that bullshit. And eventually it gets monetized, and eventually you're making money off of nothing.
Fucking AI girl voice. I fucking hate. There's a bunch of AI voices that I hate.
Yeah.
That AI girl voice I hate so much. It's like the one that's always used. It's like this girl.
Oh, I know exactly
went into an MMA fight.
Yo, you sound like
like I hate that voice.
I know exactly what one you're talking about. So yeah, that is what's happening with YouTube. So they're not only demonetizing AI content, they're demonetizing, they said, low effort videos also. They said videos that are not using faces, like the person's, you're not actually in it. Videos that are not using a real human speaking. Like, so, luckily our channel is completely unaffected by all of that bullshit because I'm in the videos, and also my voice, Kenny's voice, we're in it. So I don't have this issue, but a lot of people who make, again, it's mainly targeted at people who just upload. For example, they said example of like low vibrational videos or like low effort videos is reaction to somebody else's video about something. And it's just the person sitting there watching the video without actually really doing much. So like you literally are just playing somebody else's video or some other video on the internet, and you're staring at the screen, not really doing anything. Like it's just like that type of thing.
Have you seen the videos where it'll be like a clip of a stand-up comedian, and then under that is just like a guy sitting there.
Yep.
And then he'll just like point at the screen and go like, and like nod his head like, ooh.
I think that's exactly what they're.
And he like points at it again. It's like,
I've seen
what
those.
The fuck is this video?
I think those are the exact kind of videos that they're going to demonetize. They're demonetizing, so they're cracking down, and it makes sense too because this basically what this is going to do is de-incentivize people from making this nonsense.
Yeah.
It's flooding the internet. Like people, because you can monetize it. Again, there are people selling courses on how to just give ChatGPT prompts that you can then put in a CapCut that you can then just make a YouTube channel that is soulless. Like it's a fucking soulless YouTube channel. So
it sucks.
I'm happy about it. Personally, I'm happy about it. Anyway.
So on that note though, so I didn't get that vibe. It's interesting. So Frazier was watching it. He saw it before me. And he messaged me and he was like, "Hey, have you seen it yet?" And I was like, "No." And then I got scared because like the tone of the message,
I know it.
I was like, yo, is it trash? Like the tone of the message, I forget exactly what he said, but I messaged him like, "Oh my God, is it like terrible? Like, should we cancel the podcast?" Like I was just like, and then he's like, no. And then he said like, "I do have a take though." And I didn't know, what it was. I didn't know how you felt about it. Because when I watched the movie today, I was thinking about that. I was like, Frazier said there was like something he wanted to say. And I was like, oh man, I wonder if he like hated the movie.
No.
Because I was watching it and I was fucking love. I had a lot of fun watching it. And we'll talk about some of the more specifics, but I had a lot of fun watching it. But to your point, I could see what you mean, especially with like how the AI art styles are and stuff like that.
And the storyline. I just feel like
it's very
generic.
It's just what it is. Yeah, it's just like what it is. I mean, it's Demon Slayer,
It's extremely
it's like
it's this Demon Slayer.
It literally is Muzan. He gives you the demon mark and then he talks in your head and he influences you. Like it is Demon Slayer.
And this could also be a product of us just getting older, where I've seen a lot of media. So a lot of things are just so cliche to me. Whereas somebody who is seeing K-pop Demon Hunters and they're 15 years old, this is not going to be something that they've seen a million times already. But when I was looking at the storyline and they're talking about there's demons and they're under this veil called the hymen, and like you have to sing in order to.
Not what it's called. It was not called the hymen.
What's it called?
It's crazy.
Aren't they under the hymen or something like that? Or isn't it like they're trying to create the golden hymen? Isn't that the name of the fucking thing?
You shut the fuck up.
Aren't they trying to make the golden hymen?
Aren't
they trying to make the golden hymen?
Wait, I
swore the entire premise of the movie is that there's these 3 K-pop singers, and throughout every generation, there's always these 3 K-pop singers in a group.
Yeah, I thought that was cool that they showed I thought that was cool.
I do think that's awesome. Like the premise of the entire thing, guys, is there are these 3 K-pop singers, and throughout every generation of history, right, they've always existed, and their entire job really is to use their voices and use their songs and use their music as a way to create this barrier between the human world and the demon world, because demons obviously just like eat human souls and kill humans or whatever. Like it's typical demon shit, and demons don't have love, they don't have compassion, but they call it like the hymen, and their goal in life, and
the word is similar, but Frazier is saying an English word and the word they used was a Korean word. Now you guys might flame me because what I'm about to say, it is very, but I think it's called like the Hyomen or something like that. Like it was something like that.
Sure. But 3 girls creating the Hyomen. Anyway, their goal.
The golden hymen.
Yeah. So this hymen thing, it like blocks the real world from the demon world, and they literally show it as a barrier. So they show demons under it, like kind of like if you imagine fish in the ocean, and if you're like looking down at the ocean, imagine a fish trying to like jump up out the water, but it can't because there's something just blocking it from jumping out the water, but it's trying to,
like a net or something, right?
Yes,
because it is kind of like a net basically.
Yep, it looks like a net. They're pressing up against it. Humans don't see it though. Even when they're pressing up against it, we don't see it like in our world. In fact, most humans don't even know that demons exist. They're just kind of living their lives without ever knowing that this is a thing. But these singers, they always exist, so their souls are kind of just being like passed down to generation, whatever. They're kind of reincarnated every time. I guess they die out from natural causes. They get reincarnated and then they come back. The goal is to create this thing called the golden hymen. And what this will do is this will make it where demons can never, ever, ever access the human world again. Once the golden hymen is created, it will block them from ever coming in again. So like, if any generation of K-pop demon hunters does this, accomplishes this goal, then in theory, there doesn't need to ever be K-pop demon hunters again, because demons just won't really exist in the human world. They'll be in their own domain, locked there for all eternity, and they want to obviously prevent that. And that's the premise, where the Demon King is kind of like, we have to stop them from doing that. We also have to like kill these bitches because they're killing us. They literally kill them for a living.
Like we need to absorb the souls.
So that storyline is extremely generic. And when I was watching the first 20 minutes of the movie, you get a song, right? You get an intro song, you get the characters, and then you get like the cheesy generic story and stuff like that. And I was staring at it, and again, maybe it's just because I'm older, maybe it's because I'm just a skeptic, maybe because I've just been seeing so much AI generated content. But I was like, bro, I feel like this movie just might be some AI nonsense. I don't know. Like, okay, answer me this, Kenny.
Yeah.
Could you see this movie being made with AI by itself?
It would be hard. So here's what I'll say. I think that a lot of what you're saying can be done. I think the script for sure. I think the script for sure could potentially, and like I don't want to shit on whoever the script writers were, because I think overall they made a really fun movie, but I do think the script for sure probably could have been written by AI. And I also think you could get like the character designs, but
they look like AI characters to me. I'm sorry. They just look so fucking generic, bro.
I think where like the part that at least AI right now I don't think could do is something like the way the animation was, like how sometimes it would be fluid animation, sometimes it would be like stop animation.
I noticed almost. That, yeah.
And then like the facial, there was a lot of really expressive facial expressions and like facial animations and stuff like that. And I don't think AI is really capable of doing that. If you watch a lot of AI videos, they still don't have the most consistent way of creating like different expressive faces, especially like in real time and stuff like that.
Just like devil's advocate though.
Yeah.
I feel like AI hasn't been really trying to make animated shit. AI has been trying to make literally like the IMNerd podcast. Like AI is attempting to literally create a podcast of me and you talking to each other, which I'm sure by now there's enough episodes that you could feed it enough episodes now of the IMNerd podcast.
Oh, for sure.
And it could create a conversation between.
You could get me canceled easily.
Oh yeah, you can create a conversation, bro. I've been called it the Golden Hymen all episode. You can create a conversation between me and you that is not real, and AI is trying to create like real humans. My thing is, I think when it comes to animation, if you fed that shit 5 Toy Story movies and a couple Pixar movies and been like, okay, now create your own from using these Toy Story movies and these Pixar movies, create your own animated movie, make up a storyline, whatever.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, but I think AI could actually get the job done, because that's essentially, and again, this is a tangent. This is also like complete skepticism or theory, I guess. But like, I just think that animation is something that we don't really see AI trying to do often, because again, AI is trying to recreate humanity. Like it's trying to be us.
Yeah. I've seen a couple like anime wannabe videos. But no, I think you're not far off. I don't think you're far off. I'm like,
at the very least, we're not far from it, right?
Yeah. I don't think your point's far off. I think there is some like artistry that's in this movie. Once again, I do think like, the plot and everything. Like it is a simple movie. Ultimately, this movie is more so a vehicle, I think, because like Frazier said, in terms of story, it's a very generic story. Like the story, it didn't do anything new or unique.
Right.
It was more so a vehicle, I think, to show off like them having fun with like some fun animation, as well as just like making K-pop music.
Yeah.
Because like there was a lot of K-pop music, and I also thought it was kind of interesting how like the big fight, or like all of the fights, like and aside from fighting the mooks, all of the fights were like rap battles basically. Like it was all music, and I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, no, it was a very simple story and everything. It was. It seemed more so like they just were like, we want to have fun, make like a fun like animated thing with crazy expressions and whatnot, and like also make this K-pop music.
I don't want to let this point slip by. So I could not help but to compare them to the Powerpuff Girls, because literally I grew up on the Powerpuff Girls, right? Like I grew up on Cartoon Network. The Powerpuff Girls are iconic. Thank God that the real life Powerpuff Girls show got canceled.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, just never happened. But the Powerpuff Girls is iconic, especially if you grew up in the 90s, which I did. And there are 3 characters in this movie. There are 3 girls, and they're in a group or whatever like that. They literally have the exact same personas as Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup. Like one of them is literally Bubbles. She's the young, bubbly, very like infanticized version of a girl. Like she's not actually a child, but she has this very childlike behavior. They keep drawing her in a chibi way. That's her whole thing. She's literally Bubbles. Then the middle one, who's the leader, with like whatever color, like purple hair or whatever. She also has like the leader, super controlling. Remember like Blossom? Her whole thing was that she was like super fucking controlling. Rumi Literally, it's just Blossom all grown up. Like she's Blossom, and then you have the butch one. You have the fucking tomboy one with the deeper voice. She's like way more like hardcore. Like I'm sport. I'm hardcore. Like literally, the Powerpuff Girls would poke fun at like Buttercup because she was like she was clearly like the lesbian one or whatever. And you have the same vibe going on with the long-haired red girl. So I was just looking at these like, okay, so these are like Powerpuff Girls that sing, cool. And again, I don't hate this movie. I don't dislike this movie. But my first 20 minutes watching it, I was like, this is a Powerpuff Girls, like basically copy paste, grow them up a little bit, and then make them K-pop singers. Where I'll shoot them some bail, it's very culturally inspired by Korean culture. And I like that a lot.
Yeah.
It is very heavily Korean. And like, as somebody who has a friend, like a true hero, aka Cairo King, as we know him, we just call him Cairo. But Cairo lives in Korea. He's been living in Korea for the last 8 years. And Gary has been to Korea, and like a couple of our other friends have been to Korea. I think Anthony did go to Korea at one point. Yeah. A couple of our friends have been to Korea. So we hear a lot about Korea through Cairo and just like friends who have gone. And seeing the way they portray like Korean culture, and just, I know the whole idol culture over there is a really big thing. We also kind of know because it bleeds into Western culture sometimes. Like BlackPink is so big that it's now it bleeds into our music.
Yeah, it's crazy how big K-pop and K-dramas have become in America. Like BTS got huge in America.
Huge.
BlackPink got really big in America. And then there's like on Netflix, there's a bunch of really big K-dramas. And Squid Game, I don't think you would call that a drama, but well, maybe you would. But anyway, Squid Game, obviously, as everybody knows, was humongous. And that's amazing. But there's a bunch of other Korean shows on Netflix that have done really well.
Yep. So yeah, the Korean culture aspect of it, I love it because there's always a nice thing when you're celebrating another culture, especially to Americans who don't really know as much about these other cultures. Like I like learning about them. I like seeing them and stuff like that. And I know, again, the idol culture is very big over there. Basically, idols are their celebrities. So instead of calling them celebrities, they call them idols in Asia. That's like a lot of times what they refer to. And I also thought it was interesting. I noticed that in America, and this is just how Americans are, we're very individualistic. So even the Jackson 5 eventually became Michael Jackson. Destiny's Child became Beyonce. Yep. What's the one with, NSYNC became Justin Timberlake. So forth and so on. This happens a lot. I don't have any facts in front of me to state what I'm about to state, but
I think what you're about to say, I think is completely accurate, and I'll back you up. Go ahead.
I've kind of noticed that in Asia, groups are like a big deal, and the individual star is not as big of a deal. Obviously, people have their favorites in a group, and there's always kind of like a leader or whatever. But in terms of like the leader going solo and leaving the group, doesn't seem like it's as big of a deal as it is in America, where it seems like the norm here to eventually you break out from your group. And like the Pussycat Dolls, Nicole Scherzinger, she's a solo now. Like she's fucking bars. Like she is not part of Pussycat Dolls anymore. Pretty much every group breaks up and they become like a solo thing. And I noticed that like in Korea and in K-pop groups and in Asia and just like J-pop, K-pop, all that stuff, they're really big on the group thing. Like the group thing is how they package their idols. It's interesting. And I don't know if like, again, I could just be making this up because it's what I see the most, but I feel like they're
100% correct.
Okay.
In Japan and Korea, I can't speak for China or any other
definitely can't speak for China
country. I don't know. But in Japan and Korea, groups are certainly like the thing. They are the thing that gets, I think, the most popular, and it's also much, much, much more rare for you to leave the group and become a solo star. Now, without being Japanese or Korean, there's things that I know based on either, I struggle to say research because I don't want to, I've researched it, but I don't want to call myself a researcher. But anyway, things that I've looked into, and then also just like my own like assumptions based on what I understand about their culture. But I think it's like one of those things where in America, it's probably like you're encouraged to go solo eventually because it's capitalism. Make all the money yourself, fuck everybody else. Whereas like in Japan and Korea, that ideology is a bit more frowned upon. Like you leaving your like allies behind. You know what I mean? Like you stepping on them to like get ahead.
It's
looked at differently in Japan and in Korea.
That makes sense.
So I just think, their whole culture just kind of looks at that differently and like would probably look down on like somebody going solo and like leaving everybody behind more so than in America.
Yeah, in America.
But then on top of that, their culture overall right now, just like they just always have like groups are just what like maybe that's part of it, but I also just think that the other part of it is like for one reason or another, groups just fucking hit over there. Like all of their marketing, everything goes around groups. Like they don't really try to push solo artists as much as they push
And I
groups,
think what's
as far as
cool,
I can tell.
I think what's cool about groups is that people always have their favorites.
Yeah.
Like in these
It's
groups,
like the Akatsuki. There's a reason why every cool anime has a group.
that is true. The Espada, the
Groups are the
Akatsuki,
shit.
the
They're the
Shichibukai, right?
Yeah.
The Five
You
Warlords.
don't have to
Like,
love a group.
there's
You
so
love the
many.
group, and then you have a favorite in the group. It's awesome.
It is a thing because you see at these concerts, even in this movie, K-pop Demon Hunters, people are holding up signs for who they think is the favorite, right?
Yeah,
like there are
yeah.
3 of them. I forget the other 2 girls' names. I feel so bad, but like I know Rumi's name because she's the main character. The other 2, I cannot remember for the life of me. But also, I'm terrible with Korean names, and we learned this from Solo Leveling. Me and Kenny just do not retain Korean names for some reason. I don't know what that is.
The only name I remember is Rumi, unfortunately, and
right, well, I'm gonna pull up.
I remember Jinwoo's name because his name was Jinwoo, and I just watched Solo Leveling,
and he's also the main character.
And like,
so
I was just like, is his name Jinwoo? Like, are y'all serious right now? Did y'all fucking just take the #1 Korean character and throw him in here too?
So I think it's Rumi, Host, and Mira.
Yeah, the one girl's name is definitely Mira. I remember that because I remember they had Mira. They were the one like table signing. They had Mira in between 2 boys, and they were like shipping them. They were like shipping Mira with the 2 K-pop boys.
Zoe. Sorry, maybe one's name is Zoe. This is really hard to tell. So Rumi, Mira, Zoe, or I think the 3, and then Jinu is obviously the main guy character who's like a demon who was once a human and all that good stuff. And then is Guima? Is that the evil thing?
That's the Demon King.
He looks like the guy from Squid Game. I think he is. Oh my god, he is the guy from Squid. He is the guy from Squid Game. He is like the evil dude who was in season 2 and then became like, you know, he was pretending to be a part of the games, but he was never actually like really a part of the games, I guess.
Yeah.
Like they would not have if he would have lost any of the games, they would not have shot him in the head. He was the new Ilnam. That guy is the voice of the great evil demon king dude in this,
cool.
which is kind of cool. So they're using actors that we actually know, which is awesome. And again, this movie is casted with all real humans. It is not an AI movie, actually. But I promise you,
Frazier's fear was that you feel like watching it, it could be.
Yes, I was watching and I was like, dear God. Well, first of all, I didn't know when I was watching. I was like, is this an AI movie? And then as it kept going, I was like, okay, I don't think it's AI anymore. But then I was like, well, AI, what's stopping it from making movies like this? Because I was thinking about the script, I was thinking about the characters and all that stuff, and we already went over this, but like, it just gave AI could make an animated movie with 3 generic characters that sing. It can write their songs. All of this stuff I've seen AI do all of the individual things that make up this movie is what I'm saying. Like all of the AI, if I give it a prompt right now, make me a video essay on why Edison format is the best format. It can do that. Like right now, it will start spitting out random Yu-Gi-Oh! Edison facts on why it thinks Edison is like, and I can just go on YouTube and just start reciting that bullshit. That like soulless bullshit. So that's I've seen it create individual pieces of what this movie amounts to altogether. But yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting. I think the movie is actually very good. Like it's something that I would watch again, and I also really like the music. Like I really like the music.
So I want to say on the note, right before the music part, the one thing I also want to say, just in case it's not clear to anybody, because although I do mostly agree with Frazier said in terms of the AI thing. To give credit to the people that made this movie, I do think I do really like the character designs. I like the outfits. I like the way the characters look and the art style. And the fucking facial expressions and the facial animations, I really enjoyed. They were so expressive throughout the whole movie. And I also like their little the way they interact with each other. Like there was a part where I don't know, they were just hyping each other up when they were alone and stuff. It was just cute and cool. But the fucking music, legitimately, I think I liked every song I heard. It reminded me of Film Red.
Yes, bro. Film Red.
I liked all the music.
Yeah. No, the music, the first one was Golden or something like that. Loved it. Absolutely went up for that. Even the Saja Boys, or however you say their name, their music was
that Soda Pop song was so catchy.
Bro,
that Soda Pop song. And I love how they knew they were demons, and the girls were getting mad, don't dance to their shit, but then they were just bobbing their shoulders and shit, they couldn't help themselves because that Soda Pop song was catchy as shit. It was a good song.
I'm telling you, bro, when they did the Soda Pop song, I said, yo, this is AI. I was just like, this is AI. You're not going to get this past me, bro. It's AI. AI wrote these fucking songs. I'm not trying to hear it. That Soda Pop song was so catchy. And maybe I'm the problem, but like I just was
You're the
listening to
problem.
it. I literally started to like tap my little leg on my bed. I'm sitting
Yep.
here in the bed watching it, and I was like, this is really catchy. And the girls in the movie are also equally trying not to like it, and they're also starting to slowly like it. And the guys are hot and all that.
Yo,
It
I
was just
love
a
when
thing.
the guys walk in. The guys are walking in, and the one guy's like, you see a little bit of his abs
Yep.
at the bottom of his shirt, and they like start looking at him, and they see his abs, and then like they see a little bit more, and then their eyes turn into like corn, and then like his fucking button pops off, and then like the corn gets buttered, and then another button pops off, and they see his full abs, and then the corn starts turning into popcorn,
Yeah.
and then the other girl starts eating the popcorn that's pop. It was so fucking like it was such a funny little sequence. Like,
Yeah.
and then the main girl Rumi was like not for it. She like didn't care about these fucking boys, but then she saw like the main boy.
I loved how they did that because I was looking for him. So there's this one character, and he is like obviously, you know, the villain or whatever. Like he's the double crossing agent. He's pretending to be Jinu. He's pretending to be like just a boy band guy or whatever. But he's an asshole. And his intro I thought was really well done. There's 5 people in the group total in the boy band. There's 5 people, but when they introduce them, you only see 4 of them at first. And the 4 of them, you know, they're different color hair, like the typical one has pink hair, one has blue hair, one has green hair, one has whatever. So they all have different color hair. And they're walking down the street, and like the 2 girls, Mira and Zoe, I'm hoping that's their names. Mira and Zoe notice those 4, and they're like fiending over them. And Rumi, the main girl, she just is not going for it. And then I was like, where's none of these are the main guy. Like, where's he at? And then, of course, he fucking turns the corner, and he just has the look of every Korean boy band group member I've ever seen in my life. Not even trying to be racist. Like, he literally looks like every single BTS member you've ever seen. Like, he has jet black hair, a short cut. It's like his hair is fucking perfect.
He's perfect.
Everything about him is perfect. He turns the corner and she immediately loses her shit because he's very attractive. He's the most attractive one out of all of them. But noticeably, he looks the most Korean. The other ones have like unrealistic animated hair. Like they don't look like real people. Their hair is so ridiculous. One of them has hair completely covering his face. Like it's
his
so
entire face. Yeah,
he's like the baby one or something. Like he's literally called like baby BTS or something. So
they had like their names were kind of like Spice Girl names.
Yes,
it was like Baby Boy. It was like
that's why
Pineapple. But like,
also gives AI. That's exactly what I'm telling you. So many. I just feel like you feed the Spice Girls, you feed the PowerPuff Girls, you feed BTS and BlackPink, and then you say make this, and they could genuinely make this shit. Anyway, I'm not going to stop making this AI point because it really was like ingrained into me until a certain point. But they don't look real. Jinu comes in, the main evil dude, and he just doesn't look exaggerated in any way. He just looks like an actual Korean male, which I thought was an interesting design choice. Like he looked like even the girls look exaggerated because they have pink hair, blue hair, bright red hair, and you know, hairstyles that aren't super real. Like, you know, they
except for the main girl. The main girl, like, I mean, it's a real hairstyle, but like her, like not that long.
Yes. It would literally kind of hurt to have a ponytail that thick and that long. Pause. So I don't know. I just thought like everybody looked a certain way. Everybody looked like they were in an animated movie. And then Jinu comes in and he just looks like a fucking human. Like he looks like a regular, but that also kind of leads to him being so much more cool than everybody else. Cause he is to me, he's the coolest. Like he actually
he's
is
the
cool.
man.
Yeah. He's the fucking man. Even his intro was so sick. The main girl Rumi falls.
Yo, this was fucked up.
Rumi is trying to get her voice back. So she goes to some sham doctor. She gets like a bunch of Capri Suns. She's on her way out. They spot the guys. She falls and drops her whole basket of Capri Suns. And as she's about to get up, the fucking Jinu walks up all hot and shit. And it does that typical thing where she's looking up at him and he's looking down at her. So when she sees him, the sun is behind him. There's a lot of light. He has that like super omnipresent thing going on, like I'm Jesus or whatever. And he reaches his hand down, and when she goes to like grab at his hand to like say like, you know, help me up, he fucking swipes past and like wipes his eyebrow, wipes his hair out his face, and then just like brushes his shoulder off.
And then brushes the dirt off his shoulder. He was cold. He was fucking cold. Also, unless I misunderstood what Connie was saying, she had mentioned that I think the song they were playing when like those two met and they were walking past each other and they bumped into each other and it was supposed to be like this kind of romantic moment until he like played her.
Yeah. I
think the song they were playing is like a song that's used in a lot of K-drama when like when the boy and the girl meet. unless I misunderstood what Connie was saying, but that's what I got from. I think the song they were using in that moment wasn't an original song for the movie. It's like an extremely popular song that's used in a lot of K-drama in order to like help elicit that point, and then it like really stings when he fucking turns around and fucking plays her and brushes off his shoulder.
Yeah, like does not help her up off the ground. He just walks past her and just gives her this really pitiful, like this, I pity you, you know, like I look down on you. I turn my nose up at you, look. It gave very that. So I liked his intro. I thought that was good. It also reminded me of when I was younger, one of my friends used to get girls by literally treating them terribly. I know this sounds fucked up, but like he was just an asshole to women. And that, for whatever reason, made them absolutely infatuated with him. And like he knew that. And so he just would manipulate women by being mean to them. And they would, for some reason, flock to him. They would constantly have to know, why do you treat me like this? They need like that closure or whatever. These are specific women, not generalizing all women as being like, you know, needed of a man's attention. But literally, he would just be so mean and so rude to like the prettiest girls. And I guess because they just can't imagine somebody treating them like anything unlike a princess. Like, how are you not how are you not bowing at my feet? How are you not trying to get my number? How are you not just giving me everything I want and just eating out of the palm of my hand? He'd be like, absolutely the fuck not. Like, I'm not pulling your chair out. I'm not being super nice to you. I'm not opening doors for you. He was just an asshole. And then he would end up sleeping with these girls. And I'm like, how did that happen? Like, how? He's like,
how did that happen?
I'm like, you're an asshole. Like nobody likes you. And he's like, yeah, well, it just works. Well. So when Jinnu was being an asshole to Rumi, I was like, I don't know how far this movie's going to go. I don't know everyone's age or whatever, but I was like, Jinnu and Rumi are going to end up sleeping with each other because he's treating her so fucked up. And it just was me like having a callback to my teenage years of my friend just being an asshole and sleeping with girls because literally they found him attractive for some reason. It's very interesting. And psychology, I guess.
But yeah, so he comes out and then like treats them like shit. At the time, they don't know that they're the K-pop boys yet. And then like they turn the corner and do like a surprise concert on the street.
Yep.
And that's where the fucking Soda Pop song comes from.
And they're using magic and shit. Like demons have very blatant magic. Yeah, demons blatantly have powers, and the humans are just seeing it as special effects. They're like, oh, that was so cool when like you disintegrated that guy, or when the stage grew up out from under your feet, literally from nothingness. Like that was so awesome. And I'm just like, okay, like let me see a fucking stage come up under from somebody.
Well, it was funny too, because like they were like, they're obviously, and then two of the girls were like demons, and the other girl was like magicians. I mean demons.
And this movie does do a good job of poking fun at itself.
Yeah.
One of my favorite parts of the entire movie was couch time.
Oh, couch time is awesome.
I love that. They all took like showers, baths, or whatever, really got pampered up. They put on robes, had the little towels over their heads, and they got a bunch of just really good food that's bad for you. Like just a bunch of snacks and shit, like potato chips, brownies, cookies, pies, cakes, all that shit, soda. They all grabbed all these snacks and like they walk over to the couch. They turn on some bullshit reality TV, basically, like just the most brain dead TV you could think of, like some brain
Real
rot.
Housewives of Atlanta.
Real Housewives of Atlanta, brain rot reality TV. And they're just sitting there chilling about to just be fat. Like just absolutely be fat. Just like eat terrible food, not work out, not worry about work or like tomorrow's problems. Just live in a moment. One of the things that we all do as humans, like everyone needs that moment to just like, I'm turning my brain off. I'm just going to eat disgusting. I'm going to satisfy my taste and not necessarily like my health in this moment.
Yeah. They were ready to relax. They were supposed to go on vacation. And then Rumi fucking releases their next single.
Yep.
And forces them to go back to work.
Yeah.
And it's funny because like, at first you're like, what the fuck, Rumi? Why, we're trying to relax. But, it becomes, she's a half breed. She's half demon. I guess her mom fell in love with a demon.
Yep.
That's how I understood it. And then, so she's half demon. She was born a demon. And, but what's interesting is that, as the movie went on, you come to realize that like demons are made in a somewhat similar, like demons aren't, as far as I know, they're not like their own race of thing that like exists in the underworld. Demons are turned into demons by the Demon King.
Yeah.
So the Demon King like manipulates humans into like giving their soul over to him, and he offers them like power, and then they become demons. So what's interesting is what might have happened, because at first when it gets revealed, I was like, oh, the mom like fell in love with like a demon, and then like they had a kid. But it's also possible, especially going on the whole thing of it being a mistake, it's possible that maybe her dad took like a deal to become a demon, and the mom didn't even know it, You know what I mean? Like
Right,
maybe
because the
mom
markings
didn't
could
even
just
know.
be hidden. Like Rumi's been a pop star for God knows how long, and nobody knew, including her closest friends who are also in her group, that she was a demon.
Yeah, because after it gets revealed by like Jinu that like he was a normal person, and then he made a deal with the Demon King to like and became a demon. So then, and then as the movie goes on, you find out that like there's influence of all these humans, and that like he's trying to turn other people into demons. So it's also possible that like her dad was just like a regular guy that took a deal and became a demon or whatever. But it was interesting. The one like surrogate mom, the auntie. I get that what she was trying to do, but she caused a lot of stress in that girl's life.
She
Like it
did.
was, she was like, you can't tell your friends; they won't accept you. Like they'll turn on you. And it was, this is how I took it. Maybe I'm wrong, but it seemed like it was making an allusion to real life, where like sometimes people in your life are trying to help you, and they give you advice that actually ends up being harmful in the long run. Like your friends aren't actually going to be there for you; they're not actually going to help you. You have to change this about yourself.
Right.
You got to make yourself worthy of other people's like recognition and love. And she went her whole life hiding a huge aspect of her own self, which caused her a lot of stress and everything.
I can speak to this too, as somebody who obviously, I'm gay, right? And I think what you're speaking on right now is she basically lived a huge chunk of her life. I mean, up until this point in the movie, she lived a huge chunk of her life in the closet about being a demon.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
her being a demon is part of who she is. It is literally,
and she was literally just born that way. It's just who she is.
It's just who she is. She cannot change it. She's just a demon, right? And she has been going out of her way. All the costume designs are made to cover her arms, cover her patterns, as they call them in this movie. The demon markings are called patterns. And so like she's always been covering her patterns. She's never even changed in front of them in a way that they could see them. She's always hiding them. And like even when
they want to like go to the bathhouse with her, and she like never goes to the bathhouse.
Right. And it kind of makes sense because she's been going out of her way. This is a real life thing for a lot of people who are in the LGBTQ community, where you grow up and you're hiding a part of yourself. And it honestly does lead to you being a little uptight in other areas of your life, because you have to focus like so much energy into like one, hiding, but two, also just directing your energy somewhere else. So that way you don't like let your mask slip off too much. So she's a control freak.
Yeah.
And like, as someone who's also a control freak, I can identify with Rumi's character. Like, I like being in control of a lot of things. I like doing things on my own as opposed to like other people, because sometimes people just don't do it to the same way that I would want it done. So I like, even that I get, like, I resonate with her character, but even the illusion of like someone coming out as a demon basically is very akin to like a gay person coming out of the closet. It's like, oh, you're afraid, and you're told, do not tell people this because they won't accept you. In the media, growing up, especially when we grew up, when me and you grew up, Kenny, the world is way different now. Yeah. But like in the 90s, it definitely wasn't as, out in the open as it is now. Like, it could be career ending for people in certain fields to even, like, Luther Vandross died a gay man that nobody really knew. Yeah. He never came out as like, but everyone knows, like, everyone in the industry now, like, there's documentaries being made now where Patti LaBelle was like, yeah, like, Luther was gay. Like, I knew he was one of my closest friends. He was very gay, but like, he could never say that because it would literally ruin his career.
Yep.
And she said that like his biggest regret was that his mother died and he didn't get to like tell his mother that like, I'm gay, be real. It's just a whole thing. So I get like this whole, when the aunt is talking about, you can't let people know about this and this is your secret, that's kind of like an allusion to society being like, oh, you need to keep this a secret, live your life in hiding, cover up, wear a mask, that type of thing. I see that.
Yep. Yeah. So I thought that was cool. And then, by the end of the movie, like, she's wearing it proud and stuff. And then like, it's all about her accepting herself and her patterns become rainbows, Do
they really? That doesn't happen, does it?
No, 100%. No, 100%.
Oh,
it does.
they did.
Her patterns, because the patterns are like purple and pink. When she sings that like new song at the very end to like beat the last Kpop demon song.
Yeah.
And she comes out by herself, and her like song like brings the souls back to the humans and brings the souls back to like her friends, and then her friends comes and they sing the song with her. That song, as she's singing that song, her patterns start changing and they become like this kind of like white glass looking thing, and they have like rainbow refractions all throughout them.
So literally just rainbow. Okay, well, there's that.
Yeah.
So lots of allusions to many things in life, but in general, like, I totally understand kids wanting to hide a part of their personality or hide a part of who they are, because a lot of us grow up like that. Like, I know some people who literally hid that they were Yu-Gi-Oh players, for example.
Yeah, I think
that's
something I can relate to. Like, in that obviously hiding like being gay is a lot more serious.
Right. This
because,
is definitely
because of everything that goes into it throughout society, right? And especially if you have a religious family. So these things aren't comparable. But I do remember growing up having different friends and stuff. And when you hit that certain age where it becomes, you try to just be a cool guy.
Yep.
And you start pretending you don't know what Yu-Gi-Oh is or Pokemon or Dragon Ball Z. And then like people try to force that on you. And they're like, yo, you got to stop. Like, you got to grow up, stop being immature. And it's like, you know, and you fight, and then you know people that you're friends with that are hiding who they actually are.
Like they play
because
Yu-Gi-Oh
they just
with
want
you.
to be, they want to be perceived cool by everybody else.
Yep.
And there's people that do that well into adulthood. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like,
yep. Their entire personality is basically based on being a cool guy. And you know, on this podcast, we do not use the word cool as anything good. Okay?
No.
That word, if we call you cool, oh, this guy's cool, it's very derogatory on this podcast. Like if any video,
and that's why, by the way, like that experience in my life is why cool became like a negative word. Because I remember being 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, where all of my friends watch Dragon Ball Z and play Yu-Gi-Oh! And then one day I go to hang out with them and I'm talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! And they're hanging out with like some new kids and they're like, nah, I don't know what that is. Nah, that's like Blue Eyes Charmander or something. I don't know what that shit is, bro. Like
Blue Eyes Charmander
that's that
is
kid
crazy.
shit, bro. Like I don't. Nah.
Y'all still playing with them Pokemon cards, them Pokemon cards?
And then
they
like they just say shit, and I'll talk about Dragon Ball Z, and like no. Then they'll talk about like Judge Joe Mathis or something. You know what I mean? Like just nonsense. Like they just start talking about fucking nonsense, and you just watch your friends who like used to be really cool because they were just themselves.
Yep.
Throw everything away so they can be perceived as cool by everybody else. And it was like I thought it was so corny.
I wish that kids knew, like teenagers especially, because these are mainly the ones we're talking about. I wish teenagers knew how much high school just doesn't fucking matter. Like those 4 years of high school and how bullshit they basically are in terms of the popularity contest that it forces you into and how you think that that's your, because at that time that is your life, right? So
yeah.
You kind of think that everything that happens in high school, the popularity contest of it all is so important, and that life is just, this is what life is like, this is what it's going to be. This is the most important thing in your entire world. But then you graduate high school, most of those people become fucking losers. No shade, but all shade.
And even if they don't, you don't ever see them again. Like from my high school, I talked to one person. There's one person from and he wasn't even in my grade. He was 2 years older than me. He's the only person from my high school I still talk to.
Yeah, like most of them either become losers or like they don't have any actual impact on your life. And real life outside of high school and outside of schooling in general is just so much more vast than that bullshit popularity contest that you're forced into for those 4 years. But of course,
then you fall into that trap in high school, and like there's a lot of people into adulthood that don't stop that. Like they continue to put on airs,
and we know some of them.
100%, and they just try to fit in. And then what's also kind of funny is that it goes in so many new directions now too, where it's not just like denying the fact that you like Yu-Gi-Oh! In order to like be perceived by a group of people. Then even inside our groups, like if you're in a Yu-Gi-Oh! Group, there's people that play Yu-Gi-Oh! That put on airs to try to be perceived cool by the other Yu-Gi-Oh! Players.
Yep.
And it's like they no longer being themselves. They're just like they want to be perceived by the other Yu-Gi-Oh! Players as a certain way.
Yep. Listen, there's this one guy I'm thinking of right now. Oh God, he's in this Discord group and he's just so fucking annoying. Like he's not even good. And this is the part that really bothers me. He's not even good, but he talks as though like you would think that he just has all the accomplishments or something. And he talks so pompous and so condescending to basically everyone. And I'm like, who the fuck is this guy, bro? I want to type so bad. And I think that this is going to happen eventually because I'm one of those people that can only bite my tongue for so long. I have a really hard time with this. There's only so long before I'm just going to reply to one of his messages and say, who the fuck would ever listen to you? And that's just going to be like the beginning of the dragging. Like, why would anyone listen to you? You are pretending to be, you're cosplaying as a good player. You're fucking cosplaying as somebody who actually has accomplishments and you don't. So like, why are you talking down on people as though like they're bad and you're different? You are not different. You are their fucking equal. Stop talking down on them. You're not helping. Like, I just want to do it so bad, but I'm just like, I'm trying to keep the peace because it's not in my Discord. It's not in my Discord, but like, I just want to let him have it so bad, and it's coming to a head, and I just know I'm gonna have it out, and I'm probably
gonna get woosah. You got to woosah.
I know I'm gonna get kicked out of this group because it's just gonna be like, damn, that was so uncalled for. But like, I really just want to like. Sometimes I want to check the people who think that they're hot shit and just let them know, like, bro, this ain't that. Just cool it a little bit. It gives that. So that whole high school thing, that energy, like you said, it carries over into way past the high school years. Some people just have that persona.
Yeah. And so that's something that I think this movie did well, is that I think that's a cool, like, even though the movie story, etc., is very basic and very generic, I think it did still, even something being basic and generic doesn't mean it's bad. And so I think even with it being basic and generic, it had like a nice little theme that it wanted to have, a nice through line. And I think it told that theme really well about like accepting yourself and stuff like that. And I think it did that really well.
Yep.
I think this, overall the story was really fun. Also, I got corrected. It wasn't the music in that one instance I was talking about. It was just the whole setup of that scene, apparently, was just like very K-drama setup. It was like a clear inspiration of K-dramas, but it wasn't
like that setup is cliche.
Itself.
Right.
Yeah. The setup overall was like designed. If you watch K-dramas, you're like, I've seen this 100 times.
I'll also say
the setup.
Even outside of K-dramas, that whole thing where girl falls, drops a bunch of shit, and then looks up and hot guy is there is a normal thing as well. Like, that's also a school. Yeah. In school, that happens a lot in anime, or like not even in anime, in cartoons. Somebody's walking down a hall with their books. They drop all their fucking books, and then there's a hot guy or a hot girl standing there, and they look up and they like love at first sight type vibes or whatever. That is a cliche thing in general, but I understand that in K-dramas is probably like more exaggerated and more to the point. But yeah.
Something else I just thought of, just like thinking of random scenes that I enjoyed. So we were talking about, and this is kind of related to the other thing, how she never went to a bathhouse with them. She never relaxed with them. These three are like best friends, but the Rumi is like really closed off. And there's even a part where they're talking to the doctor, and like the doctor's like talking about, and they're like, you're closed off. You're this, you're that. And they're like, man, you're really good. So there's a part where, because they always wanted to go to the bathhouse with her, and she's like, no. And obviously we know why. But they end up following the K-pop boys into a men's bathhouse, and they end up fighting all these demons. While they're in there, the one girl with the short black or blue hair, as they're fighting, she goes, Rumi, by the way, I just want you to know, this is not how bathhouses normally are. They're really, really fun and relaxing. You got to come with us one. Like, she still really wants her friend to like come and relax at a bathhouse with them. And she's like, just so you know, this isn't how they really are. They're really fun and relaxing. Like, don't let this ruin your experience.
Can I ask a question?
Sure. I
have no experience in bathhouses, but I swore that bathhouses were a place where people went to have like hookups and shit.
Nah. So I think that's mostly a Western interpretation. It's for the most part in Japan and I assume Korea. I don't know as much for Korea. For the most part, bathhouses are now. I'm sure. Real quick disclaimer. I'm sure there's fucking teenagers or whatever finding a way to go fuck in a bathhouse or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
But to my understanding, bathhouses really are. They tend not to be co-ed. Like they're separated, like just boys and just girls, and they tend to be like a place people go to like just relax.
You know what it is, Kenny? Because I listen to other podcasts, some of them being obviously like podcasts of gay people, and when they talk about bathhouses, it's always
this makes sense.
Yeah, because I don't know what a bathhouse. I've never been to one, so I don't really know what a bathhouse is. But every time I've ever heard one, it's always being referred to in the gay community, and it's always a seedy place to like you walk around with a towel on and nothing else. Sometimes you don't even walk around with a towel on, and basically guys are just like hooking up with each other. That's what I've always understood a bathhouse. But now that you say like, well, yes, it's not men and women. So when the girls are thinking about a bathhouse, they're thinking about all women, obviously. And that's why the guys were shocked that they even followed them into a guy's bathhouse. Cause like, why the fuck are you in here? Also, there's no sexual like innuendo or anything like that when they're talking about like, oh, they're not normally like this. Even though my mind was reading it like, well, yeah, they're not normally like this because guys are usually in there fucking. But that's I don't know what goes on in Japan and Korea, but in America, guys in a bathhouse is definitely like some maybe underground like gay shit that goes on.
So to clarify, because I was still thinking the mindset of Japan and Korea. So what you just said, as far as I know, is completely accurate for America. Because I've talked about this quite a bit with Anthony.
Yeah,
now I'm not saying Ant's been to he's gay. He's married to a man. I'm not saying he's been to a bathhouse. I don't know if he has or hasn't, but he knows a lot about like gay culture and all the different gay things and blah, blah, blah. So I've had these conversations with him a lot. I've had conversations with Frazier about this shit, but I do remember Ant talking about bathhouses and it primarily being what Frazier's talking about, especially in the States. To my understanding, in like Japan and maybe, you know, maybe this happens over there too, but to my understanding, for the most part, it is mostly used as like a relaxation thing where you just go there, get away. It's kind of like, let me just definitely speak for the females. It's kind of like when a girl goes for like in America, a spa treatment.
Yes.
Like the girls go to a spa. I think that's kind of how it is in Japan for that.
Yeah. I think that,
to my knowledge,
I think that here, like bathhouses, and obviously there's probably some that are normal, but I think for the most part, bathhouses in America are like mainly used for guy-on-guy hookups and things like that. Because every time I hear about them, it's always from other gay people, and they're talking about like some just sleazy dark room, you know, you're going in to get your shit off type thing. And I'm like, interesting. Not for me. I am way too self-conscious about anything like I just can't do that. We don't even have to get into my body dysmorphia stuff, but like I'm not walking around naked around a bunch of guys. Like I couldn't even do high school locker rooms. I didn't play any sports anyway, but like I know in guys' locker rooms, like guys will change in front of each other and it's like nothing and no big deal. I couldn't even do that. That would be too much for me. I'm like, nope, not into this. I am way too self-conscious about the way I look. So
yeah, in America, I think the perception of bathhouses is whereas like in Japan and Korea, bathhouses are just normal culture. They're just a thing that everybody does. Where in America, I think it's only like gay culture, and not even just gay culture, a specific subset of gay culture.
Yeah, because it's definitely more hypersexualization going on with that type of thing. Like if you went on Google Maps and typed in bathhouse or just Google bathhouse, like right now, if I looked at bathhouses near me, I am certain that what I'm going to find is exactly what I was talking about earlier. Like places for gay men to hook up, for gay men to meet, and just like, you know, sometimes chill, but most of the time it's for a hookup type of thing. And there's that whole undertone to it. So when I was watching this movie, I was like, bathhouse, isn't that? Because I've been hearing it, like, again, I listen to other podcasts and I'm like, isn't that the other thing? But then I was trying to reframe it in my mind, like, maybe it's something different in Asia. But here, it's like, no, that has a connotation. It has a connotation now in America that's just way different.
Yeah, the only other example of bathhouses that I know of in America is like the Russian mafia. I think at some point in American history, a lot of like, now I do not claim to be like super accurate on what I'm about to say, but to my knowledge, I think a lot of bathhouses in America were owned by like Russian mafia.
Didn't know that.
I don't know much more information than that. That's somebody can correct me. I don't know.
I've never been to one, and I don't know, you know, never say never, right? I don't know if I'll ever want to go to one, but like in my head, I don't know if in my head, I want to say never, but I'm never going to say never. So maybe one day I'll have the confidence to be like, oh, I'll go to a bathhouse and see what it's like. But I would have to go with somebody that I'm super comfortable with and like experience that.
You know what it seems like? It seems like this is so off topic, but hey, whatever. You guys know what podcast you tuned into.
Right. Or maybe they don't. Maybe this is their first episode.
Yeah, maybe they just were really hype on the K-pop Demon Hunters. They're like, this is not.
We started off with 10 minutes of exercise, like just 10 minutes of random conversation.
But so look, I'll still relate it to K-pop Demon Hunters. We're talking about when people were more repressed, right?
Yes.
In like the 90s and early 2000s and 80s, I wasn't alive in the 80s, but homosexual sexuality was a lot more repressed than it is now.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of like gay hookup things, right?
You were actually speaking facts because this is like gay history you're talking about now.
Yeah. So, and I think the whole bathhouse thing is probably more so like it being dark and seedy, like how you mentioned.
Yeah.
It seems more so because like that's a part of like homosexual history, and that like it needed to be behind closed in the closet, so to speak.
Right.
It needed to be behind closed doors. So as you're talking about it, I'm kind of having like this kind of epiphany where it's like that's kind of why it might have the connotation that it has, is because like the history of it is like, oh, I'm just going to the bathhouse to relax, and you know what I mean? It's like this whole different thing, and
you
that's
are
why
literally
it's dark
speaking
and
facts.
seedy and,
in fact, in the movie that won Movie of the Year a couple years ago called Green Book, starring Mahershala Ali as a famous pianist living in, I believe he was born and raised in the South during Jim Crow. So like pretty dark time for Black people in the South. And, but he's a famous pianist. So he's like really well known, travels around, and he happens to be gay. And so, but it's a secret, like, cause it's that, you know, I don't know, 80 years ago, whatever. It's a big secret. And in that movie, I remember one of the scenes is like him going to a bathhouse and like hooking up with a guy, and now I'm having an epiphany like, oh yeah, that is, bathhouses were used for this type of thing where you're repressed. He could not act on it in the public. He had to pretend like he obviously liked women and stuff like that. But then there's a part in Green Book where I think he gets caught in a bathhouse with a guy, and it's a huge deal, obviously, because, you know.
Yeah, because think about like today, right? If you're gay and you want to like tell a guy, like if you want to ask a guy out, right? I don't know what the whole process is, but at the end of the day, you're probably not going to get lynched for it. Right?
No, I would
but
not.
In the 80s or 90s, like I couldn't imagine being gay trying to like come on to like maybe you have the signs. Oh, maybe I think they're gay, and like you do the thing, but then like they're not gay and they try to fucking kill you or something, or they are gay but they're so repressed and so they try to kill you because they don't want other people to know they're gay.
Yeah, especially going even further back.
Do it in like these secluded, hey guys, we're all gay areas,
right? Like a safe space, basically.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to get off this topic. I know you guys are probably like, how the fuck is this the K-pop Demon Hunters podcast?
It's because
they went to a bathhouse though, bro.
They went to a bathhouse, and it's because of repression. I do think a theme of it is Rumi's like repression, and like just trying to repress her emotions and or suppress. I don't know if I don't think repress was the right word there. Suppress.
I want to talk a little bit about Jinu's history. So he's been alive for 400 years, and he had a mother and a sister who they all were struggling. They were living in poverty, right? And there's like a castle, and I guess I'll just say Kyoto. Let's just use Kyoto or Osaka Castle. They're outside of the castle. They're super poor. They're beggars. He picks up some instrument. I don't know what it's called. It wasn't a guitar. It wasn't a banjo. It was some kind of instrument. But he picks up an instrument. He starts playing his instrument. And really, he's not getting any real money for being a street performer is what he's doing.
No.
So his family, his sister and his mother are still struggling. The way he tells the story initially is that like he made a deal with the devil, the demon king or whatever. He made a deal with the devil, and they then lived lavishly in the palace. Like they were now a part of like the royal guard, and he was a part of the royal guard. So his family ate, well, they had full bellies every night. He had access to all the best everything, medicines and whatever, like, right? Like he's living like a king, right? But then eventually things go left, and like they lose everything because he gets pulled into the demon world, and he can no longer work for the king of Osaka Castle. So his mom and his sister get thrown out of the castle. They're back in poverty, and they're doing worse now because they don't have the man of the family to help provide. So now they have one less like hands on deck to bring in food and whatever. And so they suffer and they eventually like die, right? That's the way he tells it. Plot twist. Reality was he actually selfishly took the Demon King's offering and became like a member of the royal guard. So he lived lavishly and had a full belly every night and had everything he ever wanted, while his family was actually still out in the streets living in poverty.
Yeah, he just left his family behind. He just was like...
And that is so fucked to me. Like...
Yeah.
Bro, and then, so his whole goal in the movie, to wrap up like what his character is composed of, his goal is to stop hearing the memories of what he did to his family, because he still has these flashbacks. He hears their voices, and it's really the Demon King doing this to him on purpose to just like torment him for just shits and giggles, I guess. But like he's being tormented by these memories of seeing his sister and mother's face, hearing their voices, and knowing the shame that he brought by like taking a Demon King's offering.
Deal.
Yeah, taking his deal and just turning his back on them. So he wants to forget that ever even happened, and he'll do whatever the Demon King says if he'll erase the memory of his family from 400 years ago.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting too, because he has a pretty compelling backstory. Once again, it reminded me of Demon Slayer. What I enjoyed though is that in Demon Slayer, typically you don't get the demon's backstory till right before they die.
Yep.
I appreciate that you get the demon's backstory like quite early on, and so it gives you time to like get to know the character a bit more. So yeah, his backstory is pretty fucked, and then especially when in the full version, I like how she just like wants to kill him, right? When they're in the bathhouse, right? They're having this whole back and forth. They're fighting. He like rips open a part of her jacket, and he sees her patterns. And then he's like, wait, what the fuck? Like, you have patterns and you're like a demon hunter. Like, and then so it's interesting because earlier on, like, we saw him play her, like, wipe the dirt off his shoulders, like, not pay her any mind, just like treat her like shit. And then you have this instance in the bathhouse where her patterns are showing and she can't go help her friends. He goes, like, gives her a hug, and then he ties like a handkerchief around her arm to cover up the rip.
Yep. To
hide the pattern so that her friends can't see it. And so he helps her. And then she's able to go out and help kill all these demons. And then she's confused. And then like they eventually, he sends like a demon tiger and like this bird
to
her house, and then says like,
he
hey,
wants
let's
to have
meet
a
up.
conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, he wants to talk to her. So they meet up. She's just trying to kill him. There's a part where he has a mannequin up on a roof, and on no bullshit, no hesitation, she cuts the fucking head off.
Yep.
She thought it was him, cuts the head off, and he's like, oh my God. Like, I didn't, he was like, I didn't think you were going to go right for the fucking head. Like,
listen to Thanos, right?
Yeah, she was on all bullshit. So he's just trying to talk to her, and he's just like, your friends don't know. And like, in that moment, he felt conflicted and like, I guess felt for her, like, she has these patterns, she's a demon hunter, why is she doing this? Over time, they get to know each other and they talk to each other a bit more. He tells a version of his history to her. They have a song, they end up doing a song together that was like, I think a really cute song. Obviously they're talking about like demons and whatnot, but if you take that out of it, it's like, and you just apply it to real life, like, it's a really cute song of just like when you're falling in love with somebody that you feel like you shouldn't fall in love with and whatnot. Like, I think all of the music in this was good.
Yeah.
So then, and then he gets ripped down to the demon world again, and then he's like, oh, you like the Demon King's like, oh, you don't think I'm fucking watching? Like, I see you're trying to turn against me. Like, you thought you could be free. What the
you have a
fuck's
soft
wrong
spot.
with you?
He's noticing that you have a soft spot for this person. So I do want to say a couple things. I love how complex Janu's character is. Period.
I'm sorry. And just before I forget, when they sing that song, because she's telling him like, hey, if you help me, like, help me close the demon realm, you can be on this side of the gate when it closes, and like, you'll be free of the voices and everything. And he's like, I don't know, I don't think that's going to work, blah blah blah. How would you know that's going to work, etc. When they sing that song together and they're having that moment, he's like, oh shit. And like, he's like, I don't hear the voices. Like, the Demon King, like, them having that moment and resonating with like the magical music, he didn't hear the voices in his head, and like, he realized like, I really can be cured of this. Like, this could, potentially work. And then, okay, back to you.
So I like how complex his character is, because he's framed as obviously a villain at first. He comes in, he's a badass villain. He looks really handsome, but he's the devil essentially. And at first, he comes off as an asshole. He comes off as an antagonist. But what I really thought was so interesting about him is that once he saw her patterns, he really did go out of his way to cover them up for her.
Yeah.
Because he noticed how immediately when she was revealed and exposed, she got uncomfortable. Like, she basically dropped her guard. He probably could have killed her if he actually wanted to, because of how concerned she was about her physical appearance in that moment. But instead, he wraps her up with a fucking like handkerchief thing, like this polka dotted handkerchief. And obviously she's going to be thinking about that. Like, why would a demon ever do that? Because she says early in the movie, demons don't have feelings. They're never nice. Demons are never nice. Yeah. They're incapable of being anything other than demons, which is like evil creatures that are always hell bent on doing bad shit. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say, she was on free run time.
That's exactly what I was about to say. That's exactly what I was about to say.
She was on free run time, bro.
In free run, bro. So free run is such an amazing fucking anime. In free run, in that world, demons literally are incapable of compassion.
These K-pop demons aren't in free run.
No. The demons in free run only speak English because they are trying to deceive humans so that they can eat humans. They only learn English and talk like us and act like us because they want to deceive their prey. That is so they are literally always evil, and that's the way Freeman explains it to us. And I have no reason to think that Freeman is lying about that. So like, in the world of Freeman, demons actually are just these vile creatures that are incapable of anything but deceit and evil. In K-pop Demon Hunters, Jinu, who's working for the Demon King, was actually just a regular ass human suffering and needed help, turns to the Demon King, and like, he still clearly has parts of his humanity intact, and he does have compassion because he did something very compassionate that he really didn't have to do. Like, if he was on some real free run demon time shit, he'd have been like, oh, her guard's down, kill her, and that would have been the end of it. I also, and we can come back to this stuff about Jinu, but I also want to say that there seems to be some power scaling in K-pop Demon Hunters as well. Clearly the girl group, like, the Huntrix, they are clearly stronger than demons, like, by a very large margin, because even the boy group, I noticed, they ran. Like, they fucking ran into the bathhouse, but like, I thought at first they were skedaddling to kind of like set up a trap. And to a degree, they kind of were like, oh, bathhouse trap. But he even said, like, I didn't think you guys were going to come here. They literally, like, every time they get a chance, they run. And there are multiple instances where they do not confront them. I kind of thought that maybe the boy group would be like on par somewhat with the girls, but it's very clear that the girls are way stronger.
Dude, there's a part at the end of the movie where they're fighting, and there's 10,000 demons and 4 of the boy band demons.
Yeah.
And the 3 girls fight all of them. Like, beat the shit out of like 10,000 demons and like the 4 captains. And I thought,
the captains,
because the K-pop boy group was 5 and the girl group was 3. So at the end, when the 4 boys came with the 10,000 demons that just get murdered, I was like, oh, it's at the really the 10,000 don't matter. It's 4v3.
Yep.
And I thought what was going to happen was like Jinu was going to come and it'd be 4v4.
Right.
And then
right.
he would help the girls because it'd be 4v4.
Yeah, even it out. But they didn't need that.
But they didn't need that. They beat the shit out of all of them. Just beat the balls out of all of them. And the only part where Jinu helped was that when the Demon King shot like a Demon King Kamehameha at Rumi, and then Jinu came to help save her, and then like he gave her his soul.
Yep.
And then gave her a power up. But like outside of that, yeah, the girls are so strong.
Yeah, they're like, even the first scene of the movie where they're on an airplane and they are being flown away from their concert that starts in 10 minutes. They realize like, you're a demon, aren't you? You're acting weird. You're standing weird. You're fucking pouring coffee into a plant. Like everything about you screams demon. And the girl who's doing all of this, the stewardess, she's trying to hold back her, I guess, demonhood, but she can't. And eventually it's revealed. And they just like zero diff them, fly out of the plane. They literally fly out of the, they jump out of the plane. They fly onto the stage.
As far as I know, there was no parachute.
There was no parachute. They jump out of the plane. So like,
jump out of the plane.
They're very clearly like powerful beings, like very, very powerful beings. And again, not to get all like power scaling, you know, Naruto zero diffs every member of the Espada. Like not to get all like that, but I did notice that, oh shit, the demons do not, even the 5 that were made with the intention of combating them, they cannot fuck with these 3 girls. Like
no, these 3 are fucked up. Like they're strong. They're really strong.
Because I had questions like, what happens if the demons actually end up beating the girls? But that just doesn't happen. You don't need to ask that question because it doesn't happen.
That just does not happen at all. Like you know what was cool too?
Go ahead. No, you go first.
I was going to say, because this is like, it's somewhat related, but it's also like a parallel point. It's not exactly what we were talking about, but I like how one of the ways that they like had to beat them was kind of ruining their image, where so they spend like the second half of the movie writing this diss song against the K-pop boys. It's called Takedown. And Rumi's like, really not feeling it. It's mainly because she's getting feelings for Jinu. And there's a line that I thought was really cool because she's like, I fucking hate demons. Like, I hate demons. Like, I'm going to kill all demons, whatever. And then Jinu says, like, if hate could beat the Demon King, I would have killed him a long time ago.
Love that. Love that line. I remember that exact line. That line ate. He ate with that.
Yeah, it was a really good line. And that starts to really change her whole perspective. So what's cool is that when they go out on stage and they sing Golden and it's all this awesome stuff, at one point the friends get tricked and go away, and then so demons come out and then they start playing the song Takedown, which was they made that song in order to like diss the K-pop boys.
Yep.
But the song gets played in a way where it's like the group breaking up. And so it's the 2 girls like bullying Rumi and like singing the song like at us, and like, they break up on stage. It was a crazy flip on the song, and it was an interesting thing because it's like the demons used what they did against them. Like they were making that song. If that song didn't exist, ideally they wouldn't have been able to like have that moment.
Yeah.
Because they made that song, they were to have that moment. But anyway, the only way they could beat them is by like having the world turn against them or whatever, because like they weren't beating them in a fight.
Yeah, and like hate doesn't beat hate, which is what Jinu was saying. Like if hate could beat the Demon King, I would have already done it. Like I hate that man more than anything. You know, I made a deal with him thinking that I would like, you know, at the time he probably was super young. We do dumb shit all the time when we're young. And then you're paying for those consequences for 400 years. That's insane. Yeah. So what I was going to say though, throughout the movie, you see the hymen that they created, the barrier, it starts to get like pierced by demons. They start to be able to flood the earth and like take more human souls and feed them back to because whenever the demons like take souls, they feed them to the Demon King. He like eats the souls and he's all happy about it, and he grows in power and whatnot, and it weakens the hymen. So like eventually you start to see pockets. The girls kind of look out into the city like Seoul, Korea, and there are like pockets that are glowing in this pinkish color, showing that like right there, the hymen is very weak and demons are blatantly just coming through that area. And we're losing right now because we're losing our fans. And because they're losing their fans, for whatever reason, there's like a correlation between like how many fans they have and how much, you know, their music is loved throughout the world. That makes the hymen stronger. And that's why they want to create the golden one. But if they start to lose fans, then literally the hymen gets weaker and then demons can come into the world and like wreak havoc. And that's what's happening. So they're seeing these pockets throughout Seoul, Korea that are like, oh shit, over there we have an issue, over there we have an issue, over there we have an issue. We need to make another number one song and get the fans back. And literally the people are split between the boy band BTS and BlackPink. They don't know who to choose, so it's kind of cool.
I thought it was funny on the charts in the movie. They had real K-pop groups like Twice. Like Twice is one of the biggest K-pop groups in the world.
Yeah.
And in the movie, like they were number 2 to these girls, which was funny. But
tricks or whatever.
I thought it was cool that they had like real K-pop groups and names in there as well. But yeah, no, that's true, because there was the thing that you were saying about the Hyomen.
Sure.
But the thing you were saying about that, where, because it gets created, we see it get created, 100, 500 years in the past, whatever, and it's like this white blue, and like it gets strengthened over all of the years, and it's like blue, and then as they're singing some of their songs, they start to realize like there's it turns gold a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, like we're going to be the generation that turn it gold, because we're starting to see it turn gold. We have to like make it turn gold so we can seal them out forever. And then pink purple is kind of like the color of the Demon King, and so there's parts where you see tears and holes, and then when she like loses it after like they do takedown and they like rip her up and her patterns are visible for everyone to see, and the fucking one pad goes up and it turns her eye yellow.
Yeah, I like that.
And then there's a scene where you see her walking, and as she's taking steps, there's like a tear happening behind her, like a huge tear. Just like a really cool shot. Like,
yeah, I like Curse Mark Rumi.
Yeah, she looks awesome. Curse Mark Rumi for sure. And then she goes to talk to like her auntie, and she still is like, they're having, and then she's like, no, we can fix this. We can just cover you back up. We'll say it was an illusion. And she's like, why won't you just fucking love me? And I think that once again goes back to like being suppressed, and we were making the analogy to like homosexuality, and I think it's a really good analogy here.
Yep. If you replace
like,
the demon thing with homosexuality, it actually just kind of applies really well.
She's like, just fucking love me. I don't need you to tell me how to hide it. I don't need you to tell me it was like a misunderstanding. Just fucking love me for me. Like, just stop this. And it was a really powerful scene. Like, I liked it.
Yeah, really, really good movie, honestly. Like I said, I do not hate the movie. I just thought that, I was scared that maybe this movie was AI, and then I was scared that AI could then start to make movies like this. I will say, this movie's going to get a sequel. And things that need to be addressed: who was her father? Who was Rumi's father specifically? Because he clearly was a demon at some point. Who was her mother? Right? Like there's a couple things that they could easily build a second movie from, to like, because they didn't create the golden hymen at the end, did they?
No, but they created a new one, because like, so Rumi destroyed the old one, and her aunt was like, by the way, I don't think she's her blood aunt, but she's essentially like, so anyway, but her aunt was like, you're going to destroy it, blah blah blah, and she's like if this is what it means, like if these lies are what have to keep it in place, like it deserves to be destroyed or whatever. And so she destroys it, and at the end of the movie she shows up and she like sings her song, and then like the patterns turn like rainbow, and so I think she creates a new weave web hymen thing, and it was like white. I could be misremembering, but I think it was like white and like rainbowy. But she created like a rainbow one. I don't know if that's stronger than the gold one or what. I'm not 100% sure. But she created a new one with her two friends.
So basically what you have is an unresolved thing with the golden one, because they didn't create the golden hymen. So like that is still on the table as something that needs to be done, because potentially the rainbow one is just not as strong or whatever. So there's that. Her lineage, how she even exists as a demon on this side of the human, that can be addressed. Jinnu might not actually be gone forever. There might be a way to like, because his soul is inside of her. So in the next movie, maybe she
way you could do something.
You could do something with that. She could start hearing him, and then they have this whole inner battle where she's like, "Stop talking to me," like like turn your head. I'm using the bathroom, stuff like that. And he's like, "I'm not listening. I promise." Like just weird shit like that. And she's like, "If I knew you when you gave your soul to me that it was going to be you in my head, I would have never let you do it. I would let the Demon King just take me." Like I could see a whole thing. And then the girl's like, "Who are you talking to?" She's like, "No one," or like whatever, Or she's like, I could see an entire movie. Look at me writing the fucking AI script right now.
Look at you doing your thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I legitimately like. It was fun, and I'm fine with if there is a sequel. I'm fine with the sequel also being generic, like it being generic.
Yeah, I do not mind, especially if the music slaps.
Movie. The music is good. It's a fun movie. I think the animation's great. Like I can't get over how much I enjoyed the facial animation. And the other thing is, I thought the fight animation was really good too, but there wasn't actually that much fight choreography.
No, there wasn't.
More so singing. And I thought there was going to be. I thought there was going to be like a lot of fight choreography. I was still really happy with the animation that was in there. But yeah, a lot of the big battles were settled with singing, which I think still was pretty damn cool. And
Yeah.
like we said multiple times, like I even like the last boy, because like the main boy band song was Soda Pop. I like their last song where they were like, the last song was kind of toxic as shit. Like if you compare it to real life, where it was like, I can be your idol. And it was all about like, if you're having a bad day or everything, like you can just listen to me again. And like, I'll be there for you. But it was like, I already have your soul now. I already have your heart. Now I've come for your soul. And it's like one of those toxic things where like it could be seen as like romantic and like, oh, they're there for him. But then at the same time, it's like super fucking toxic.
Yeah, what I liked
actually
about
really
it,
like that song.
So what I loved about that song is that the humans are listening to it and it sounds so cool from their perspective, but the demons are literally singing about give me your soul.
Yeah.
Like, I actually want your soul. So it has a double entendre going on, which I think is so dope. Because from a writing perspective, to be able to write a song that has lyrics that make sense for a demon and also for humans to sing it in idolation or like from, idolizing these people, I just thought that was really well done. Kudos to them for writing that song all about like idolizing this boy band and giving your soul to them when they actually want your soul for real. I thought that was just a nice little touch. But yeah, overall, I think this is good. I'm here for the sequel. I'm sure there will be one because the movie's doing great. There are a ton of YouTube videos, review on the movie and all that type of stuff. There's a ton of that. So I typed it in on YouTube. I just typed in a name like Kpop Demon Hunters to see what will come up, and a ton of shit came up. So, and then I saw it all over Billboard and like Spotify, Apple charts. It's like literally in the top 10 right now. Like I think Drake last night or 2 nights ago posted on his story the top 10 songs in the country right now. And number 1 right now is by Morgan Wallen. Number 2 is Drake, his new song, What Did I Miss? Number 7, I believe, is Golden. I'm pretty sure Golden is number 7 song in the country right now on Billboard, which is like the official, or as official as we're going to get, like the official ranking of songs in the country. So they're doing really, really well. And with that kind of exposure and that kind of notoriety, I can't imagine that they will not follow this up. Because it's not, go ahead.
When we were watching it and we heard the Soda Pop song, Connie was like, "Oh, I guess that song's from this." She said, "I've been hearing this song everywhere. Like I've been hearing this fucking Soda Pop song everywhere." She said, "I didn't know it was from this movie." So yeah, I mean the songs are definitely making the round. Yeah,
which is cool. So I think there's going to be a sequel. I think they're going to capitalize on that. It might take a while because this movie is in fact not made by AI. It is like real artists, real voice actors, real animators, all working on this movie. So with that,
I love seeing the singers at the end in the booth.
Same. That made me so happy. And Kenny, call me conspiracy theorist, but I low-key think that they probably thought.
You're fucked up.
I think that they thought about it. They thought about like this movie could come off as a little AI-ish, and maybe we should show the people, because when I saw that I was like, now why did they put this in here? Very interesting. But I was very happy to see it because I was like, well, this just disproves my entire theory that this movie is fucking AI.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Really well done. So I don't really have much else to say. I don't know if you wanted to expand.
I think that's mostly everything. I'm sure there's a scene that I'm forgetting that I like. I liked a lot of the scenes. I liked a lot of the songs.
Yeah. And our goal isn't really to like give a play-by-play of the entire movie. We want you guys to watch the movie and enjoy the movie anyway.
Yeah. But it's a really fun movie. Great songs. I'll be listening to some of them.
Yes, I'm going to add the soundtrack. I've been listening to a lot of Claire Obscure music lately. I cannot get that soundtrack. If they don't win anything else at the Game Awards, they better win best fucking music or whatever the award is. Best sound design, best editing, best sound editing, whatever. That game, the music has been stuck in my head, but I'm going to add.
I don't know what other game came out this year that would like compete with it. Off the top of my head, maybe there is something, but off the top of my head.
Well, people are saying the only competitor now is going to be Donkey Kong. It's going to be Donkey Kong versus Claire Obscure. People are giving Donkey Kong a very high rating. Early release players like IGN and those types of publications, Kotaku, they're saying Donkey Kong delivers on all cylinders. It's actually like the real deal. It's a good follow up to like Mario Odyssey. Just comparing it to like other games that did well, they're like, this is not some bullshit. Like it's a real Nintendo game that they clearly put a lot of heart into. So it's being received really well day zero, and
I'm really excited for that because I already have the game bought. I don't have it yet, but I have it bought.
Yep, comes out tonight actually as we're recording this. It literally comes out at midnight tonight.
Yeah, I knew for me it's like it's Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong is like I was like I'm buying it. I don't care what anybody says. So I'm happy that other people are receiving it well.
Yep.
But yeah, I was gonna play that shit. I'm so
yeah. And all the comments were like, it's this and Claire Obscure this year. And everyone's like, yeah, it's just like these two. So I can't wait to see what happens in terms of that. But anyways, definitely going to add the music from this movie to my Apple Music because all that shit's on there, which is really cool, including the Claire Obscure soundtrack, which is like so long. It's like 88 songs.
That's awesome.
With that being said, let's read out the Patreon people at our party member higher tier, guys. Don't forget about our tournament happening on August 16th. That is, again, August 16th. We're having a $1,000 tournament for everyone whose name we're about to read out loud here. You are all eligible to play. Like, everyone whose name you hear, you can play in this tournament. And this tournament, obviously, because it's like for just party members or higher, it's a $1,000 tournament. We're not, bullshitting. We're giving out $1,000 cash like we have done in the past. There's no gimmicks or anything like that. Like, you can play in this tournament if you are a party member. If you want to play in this tournament, you have to become a party member if you're not already. You need to be either a party member or higher. You can be main character, you can be optional boss, but you have to at least be in the party member or higher tier to even access it. Now, with that being said, give a shout out to Tempered Steve Needs to Chill, Nova Leo, Stand Ready for My Arrival Worm, Xavier Swift, This Ain't God, This is Stanley Earl, Donald Zalug, Trapping Out the Squid Game House, Omri Reynolds, Vince, Dallas Bailey, KJ, How Much Meter You Got, Sarah Maria, Alex Ahern, FC Campa, Big Bora, Gores in My Prison Pocket, Sugal, Vicky Venomon, Elijah Barfault, Tyler Tadeo, Volvita Mega Monarch. It took 1,461 days for someone to show they ass enough to get kicked from the server. Happy 4th birthday. It's so crazy. I kicked the first person from the server yesterday on the birthday, on the anniversary of IMNerd, the 4th anniversary.
I didn't even hear the story.
It happened on live stream. It happened on live stream.
Oh, shit.
But the first person has been kicked from the IMNerd Discord server. And so, yeah, Enraged Peacock said it took 1,461 days for someone to show the ass. And like I said, yesterday was just not the day. It was Konami recanted on all their, their edits and stuff. So, like, it was just overall not the day to fuck with me. So, yeah, that day, he had it coming. Anyway, Janitor 215, Joshua Carroll, Eric Chai, Brian Moore, come to the South and you'll find taco salad. That's an inside joke from the last stream where somebody said, I said I don't like salad. And somebody was like, oh, you should try taco salad. I was like, what the fuck is taco salad? I never even heard of that. Like, what is taco salad? And they were like, how do you not know what taco salad is? Come to the South and you'll find taco salad. And I said, is that a threat? Like,
is that a threat?
Come to the South and you'll find taco salad. Like, after I told you I don't like salad in general, you saying come to the South and you'll find it, it sounded like a threat.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That is fucking crazy.
Mike and John. And then we have
Tim Bailey at home with the Real Housewives of Atlanta. They keep getting a shout out. We're going to start needing to get paid from the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
And I love WikiLeaks.
Y'all going to have to give us something. Y'all keep getting these shout outs. I brought them up today in this episode without even knowing this was going to happen. Anyway, Majin Labubu, B-Dog23, Hershey Bar, and Poister, Tyler Frasher, Sasha Egger, Daniel Anderson, Deroa, Chicken Toaster Strudel, Jordan Eastman, Robert Light, Klanger, HC19, Gregory Calmarang, Pour One Out for Konami, supported Time Wizard, Mike and John, Frago, Anthony Japov, Michael Zhang, Tim Pontes, Tyler, Chris Louis, Bob Cuddy, Luis Suarez, The Hopeless One, Choo Choo, Zuku Senryu, JTL, Cave, Raj, and Chris Kemp.
Thank you guys again so much. Don't forget, if you're listening, you can change your name on Patreon to be whatever you want. As you heard earlier in some of these name readouts, you can change your name. So like for the people who have just like very generic names or don't want their real name being said every time, you can change it to literally anything you want. Just, you don't have to. You can keep it whatever you have. But just saying, if you want to be more creative with it, or if you just feel like, hey, I might want to do this, you can change the display name that we see when we have to read out the names at the end. So just putting that out there. As you know, Enraged Peacock pretty much changes it like every single week. And with that being said, guys, do the things that make you happy, including enjoying K-pop Demon Hunters and exercising. We will catch you in the next one. Peace.